Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 20 of Illium, our modded CS1 build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. The Hello People pathway really was the star of last episode, wasn't it, as we worked on our medium density transition to residential into main downtown city centre. As you've probably seen by the title and thumbnail today, it's time for another campus. Now, I've wanted to include a campus as part of a major downtown centre for quite a long time. Didn't really have the space for it in Orchid Bay or Rannoch, and it's just never really properly happened. But we do have the space for it in Illium. So after the Minor School of Excellence over here on the other side of the highway, today I want to work with a very specific arrangements of different assets from the Bad Peanut Sports Venues pack, which is available down below on Instant Gaming if you don't have it, by the way. But otherwise, a happy Monday to you all. Welcome back to Illium, everyone. Alright guys, so with this being a campus, a lot of these roads aren't going to be needed, so I'm going to remove all these internal structures. So I mentioned working with some pretty specific assets today, and there's something I've wanted to do for a long time in Cities Skylines, pretty much since Peanut's sports venues released, which is a combination of the Peanut Bowl Memorial Stadium, a much older looking stone building, which I think is going to pair very well with liberal arts campus stuff. So I want to kind of place these assets first so we can work from the inside out, essentially. We'll worry about road connections and terrain at the end because it's not going to be a simple process, I imagine, here, and I really don't want to terraform it because then it'll be too eaten into this arterial. Actually, just wonder what is the height difference we're playing with here. Let's just test this. I'll grab that there and put that over there. It's not too bad. It's all right. It's not the worst we've ever played with. Right, so that's asset number one. Next up is the stadium station from the same pack sports venues. Again, we've got a metro line under here. You will disappear as well, I imagine. That's all you. We want to change the skin on this to the old stone one. We should have it. There we go. Pretty much made to partner this station here, isn't it? Now the pathway isn't in the middle of the asset, which slightly triggers me. That's okay though. We can make do. I'm gonna set this to the same height as the stadium as well. Oh, now do we centralize the pathway or the asset? That's gonna that's gonna irritate me all episode, isn't it? That's fine. So we'll go with that one. Let's immediately get this plugged in. Do we really want this station here now? No, I don't. I want to delete this one. We don't really need that now. Great. So that brings that internal line back in. Now we also planned more metro coming out of downtown here as well. So I'm going to bring this in. Now we do have a bypass station here. So I'm going to run this metro in. And then this one here, he's going to come and stop on this outside platform. And then, depending what happens over here, I think I'm likely to split this metro off that way, kind of fork them both out, at which case this line here, this other green one, will go off right, while this central line goes off left. So it'll give us another point of convergence for the underground metro systems to meet inside the campus at the same time as the thought process there. Let's bring in a pedestrian road. I think with so much stone around, it's only going to be fair, I think, to use sandstone pathway. Let's go ahead and set the road to the same height as all the buildings as well. We'll need to steal a little pedestrian area for this. We've already got quite a few dotted around the city. So we'll do the same again over here too. And then just trim off the last of these roads over here. So we can probably see where that layer is going to come in very nice with the elevated pathway actually, which should link into an active stadium at some point today. So with that in, let's decide on the positioning of the campus. We'll go ahead and paint this for campus district and also name it as well, given its fact it's a major institution. Place down our liberal arts administration building. The position of this is very important. I think it's almost impossible for me to not respect a mall design because of the alignment of assets I want here. it has to be kind of close, right? Because we can see how much of a match all these assets are, right? They work so nicely together. Lots of old grey and white stone, red tiles, etc. I'm be quite happy with that. We're going to go ahead and name this the Mulder Institute of Social Sciences after our wonderful egg yolk patron, Angela Mulder. Thank you so much for always support, Angela. A real secret blend of herbs and spices. And you get a whole campus today named after your good self. So I'm liking this. Let's bring in a little one-way road here. I think I'm just going to plug into this system. So we'll bring it up to the road guidelines that are on the building. And then send that straight down. As here, road guideline, and then straight down. And then we'll just reverse our directions here. Probably going to have very limited roads inside the campus, but we'll keep this here so we can essentially blend the campus back into downtown spaces on this intersection. Cool. Let's give ourselves a fancier tree here. And we can get our first campus buildings down. Go for birch lined. And then just some simple grass, and we'll get lots of node controller and other fun little bits and pieces in here. Cool. So a lot of this is going to be based upon pathway, which I really like to map around the stadium. But let's bring in the pedestrian road first, just so people can actually arrive here. Yeah, that's fine. And I probably won't actually send this down. I reckon we'll probably start this pedestrian pathway from here, right? I think I'll even go ahead and actually just multi-slope this. Let's go from down here. Maybe up to that next one instead. Yeah, we'll find a way to blend all these layers in. Not playing with any too much nastiness here, that can quite easily be blended. Bring some bushes there or something to hide the other dimension under the stadium. Then in terms of how we wrap around, do we have any snappable nodes here? Yes we do. I think I am still, however, going to bring the pedestrian pathway around it because of what I want to do with the retaining wall. So we'll do 53 degrees at 14 units down the side. I'm going to go for no trees here actually so we can see most of the stadium. And then just bring this round in the shape of the stadium, essentially. Cool. And everyone to the same height as the stadium. Apart from one little node we missed. There we go. That's just Control and H, by the way, we'd move it for a little shortcut. And then let's grab our keys. We'll do content creator, of course. We'll go for simple city key. And then we'll use network multi-tools parallel mode from this middle one, I think. Although, make sure we actually select the key. Yeah, from the middle one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that pathway there. I do want it blended in with the key, but not quite sure just yet. Okay, and then let's use our minus feature to bring the key essentially flush with the road. Hit enter once we're happy. Looks like we'll get a few little naughty inverted segments there. We'll just redraw those manually. And that will do something different with this, I think. I think this side. I don't want the key here. We'll instead go just for a bit of pedestrian road. Back onto the arterial. And possibly continuing pedestrianised here as well. No idea what's lying this area of the city just yet. I'm happy with the terrain layers and also possibly one of the better views of a skyline from stadium we've ever had. Especially when the skyline's finished, of course. This is really only kind of phase one. We've yet to develop much of the eastern side of the city centre over here yet. Well, I'm happy with that. Everyone's waiting for this, so let's get it done. We want to plug in the end of another potential Hello People pathway. I suppose we'll see just what happens with it. How we get you up here, though, is a possible point of contention. I'll leave it in anyway, and we'll just see how crazy it gets. We'll just wait and see. And now we can start finally placing some campus assets of ours. So stemming from the main building, we'll map all of these out. We've definitely got room for some buildings in here, which is where we'll possibly get our first unique building in here. School of Education is very close to sitting and fitting. But I don't like it here. I think I'm actually going to tear out this block of downtown. A lot of this is actually zoned, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just going to tear all of this out here. There we go. That was a fun little animation, wasn't it? And we don't really need you. And then we'll find a place for the School of Education to sit here, I think. I'm going to bring the pathways down in place of the road. And then we'll save ourselves 4-ish tiles, I think. Maybe 3. On the road. That can go back down to the couplet. And then I reckon we can position our School of Education a little bit nicer here. It'll also give us a bigger, wider building in the approach to the downtown as well. Be happy with that there. I can probably see something outside it as well, but we don't have any fountains unlocked just yet. So we'll stick a fountain outside it once we know. And then just give that room to breathe. We can have some detailing fun out here as well. In our time lapse with this little concrete area at the back. And give it a pathway, just saving room for those fountains out the front. Next door to this, we'll go for our next larger buildings, which looks like the Liberal Arts Study Hall. Nice assets, these. I wonder if we can squeeze in some fused dorms here as we begin to play with some initial terrain challenges in the episode. Don't be afraid of them. I think when things start to get quite intense like this, it's just a matter of getting it all in. And then Anarchy retaining walls will do a lot of the work for us. Yeah, I'm happy with them there. Bob, I think, certainly needs to be hired, doesn't he? Let's bring him in. Our freelance landscaper, Robert. Let's get rid of tree variants. And we'll do... I think a lot of California palm is the vibe today. Special. We can probably even bring in another little pathway there as well. Yeah, that actually helps the terrain layer slightly, doesn't it? So you grab the nodes on that pathway and set these to the same height as our buildings here. And then there's probably some little details we can squeeze in here as well. So where we have these little doors on the side of our campus buildings, something we're not too unfamiliar with. Just a little concrete brush. If you're in vanilla, you can do this with a vanilla pathway. Just have to be careful with your anarchy settings. I think it's very subtle, but it just makes it look as though people can walk in here now, right? And it's an intended part of the design. Once we eventually landscape it around it, of course. Fantastic. How are we doing for levels? We'll go ahead, of course, and grant the first academic works. So we just need a bit more campus attractiveness. Let's get some more dorm patterns in over here, I think, by the stadium. Let's come back to this path design concept here. I'm going to draw it out from the stadium first, so that centralizes me. And we'll do that connection that basically boxes the stadium in. Fantastic. That'll bring us out. And then I just want this to come straight out into more campus buildings. In terms of unlocking the final 2, I think I want the School of Economics for another build. Maybe more of a government area I'm planning. So I'll probably just bring in the environmental studies here, which will occupy this corner here, I think, closer to the towers. So we'll bring in some dorm blocks here. I'm going to go for the flush fusing. Again, if you're in vanilla, you can just have them perfect back-to-back will work. No problem for you. And then we'll pin them across like that. Some slight terrain narrowness there, but nothing we can't deal with. That gives us plenty of campus attractiveness. Just got to wait for the academic works. Indeed, the students already. I'm guessing there's quite a lot of university gang needed over here, is there? A lot of these guys. Do want university education. We've already smashed back through. We were slightly green here, like just about to fall yellow. Checked. But it's fine. Any excuse to build a campus, right? So with that in mind, they are pretty well accessible there via metro. I think a little campus shuttle bus is definitely in order. So we'll bring this out of our bus terminal here. We'll create a new line. So come across the interchange and then stop here. We'll likely plug a walking pathway into that as well. Converge with monorail, yeah, no problem. Come up the side of the stadium. And then just come back down the couplet, and you might as well stop at all. Yeah, come stop outside the campus main building actually. And then that'll be fine. Just go back to the central hub. And that's our Mulder campus to central hub bus line. Change this to be a school bus. And we can already see them gathering at those bus stops there as well. Plus the station. 309 in a week, yeah? How's the Hello People Pathway Point 2 doing? This one's nowhere near as busy. We actually had a suggestion last episode to link the two pathways, which I think we will do. You are there somewhere. If I bring you across, you can see that. Are those... They sort of look like doors, don't they? Do you reckon I can get away with that fusing? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, stay elevated. And then you need to join that one there, I think. Which should still keep them connected. Because I still want these guys to be able to get down here. Which I'm not currently sure if they can. Yeah, there we go. There's people picking it up here now. I think that still seems to be working. I'm noticing a lot of people come in here without them going that way, which means they are getting out here still, which is my ultimate intention. So as far as I can tell, that's still working. That's a pretty convincing door, to be fair. I'm actually kind of happy with that. It blends in very nice to the building, doesn't it? So they can get straight into the hub there. Cool. Alright then. Should we check it out one more time? Be rude not to, right? Busiest pathway we've ever made, everyone. Just a beast. The eyes, that isn't it? And over with the campus, now technically plugged in on one end of these pathways here. It'll get even busier. Fantastic. Really loving Illium. Just having so much fun building this project. People's heads are still being decapitated by the monorail, so we'll fix that small public safety issue. At a level 2 campus, which we now just need to wait a little bit of time for. We probably won't take this one to 5, I don't think. Likely level 4 will do. But either way, I'll see you back when we're at 2. Academic works. Fantastic, everyone. So we're now at level 2, and actually dangerously close to level 3. Just one more academic works and the campus attractiveness is needed. So let's see what we can do here. We've unlocked our gymnasium, which I really wouldn't mind this in... What football pitch is here? It's American football, isn't it? I'm wondering if there's possibility for kind of supplementary practice pitches to be nearby. Oh, would you look at that if it sits and fits? Goodness, everyone. Okay, I think we go with these here then. And then we'll tie the gymnasium into this complex, I think. Let's go right here. Likely bring in some car parking behind this building, I think. We'll go ahead and throw that in now while we're on the main road. Let's just grab... We want to... In a multi-story, it sits and fits again, doesn't it? I think we'll go with the red kind of cladding on it, if you like, for a bit more of a blend in. Either way, that gives us the gymnasium. Cafeteria, I would love to have as well. I think certainly by the corner to the suburb. Which... I think I'll probably turn this into a roundabout as well. Fantastic. So that just gives us another little bi-directional installation here. I'll push our blue node back a little bit as well. Cool. Square off all these guys. Then we'll bring our cafeteria down. Place this just in line with our arterial road. And then we'll have our cafeteria, I think, sat this direction. On some pretty insane terrain changes at this point, aren't we? Didn't realise how steep it actually was here. In that case then, I'm going to move this area for something different. And we'll rotate our cafeteria around here. It will need another pathway coming through. That's okay. Also going to hire Bob again too, to remove those parking spaces. These two here. Let's bring probability down to 0. Yep. And then a little bit of Old Faithful concrete surface. Can have a lot of fun, I think, here. Detail little student spaces. Let's search, find it for a table. We'll find a happy little table and chairs we like. Maybe, is there any on the asset? It's using those little campus tables, isn't it? Which we do have. These ones, yeah. Okay, let's have them outside here. There you go, we're replacing parking spaces with tables and chairs. If that doesn't please the anti-car police, don't know what will. Some little terrain discrepancies here. That's just caused by the asset, is it? That sort of helps it. And then some part life food trucks, I think, will blend in quite nicely here. Maybe even some part life hedging, which we don't tend to use overly often in and around the campus. Planters. Try and pack a lot of little props into these little campus spaces. And we'll do a couple of date palms maybe. Yeah, fun little way to transition there. I'm happy with that. That gives us the cafeteria. We then want to have our liberal arts fountains, which I wouldn't mind. I wonder if you want to go for these outside the School of Education. If there's a way I can... actually, can Bob remove those hedges? Bob can remove those hedges. Which I'm going to do in that case then. That makes the assets a little more fusible here. Because I can just stitch those two things together. You'll actually stay connected a good distance away from that, won't you? And then that can go in next door. We're just lining up the tile edges with each other. And it's this tile we want here. Bring it across on a little fill. Sweet, I'm happy with that. We'll probably have another fountain directly up and out front of the campus too. Does that bring our attractiveness to now? Yep, there we go. That's pretty much it. And then that brings up immediately to level 4 in a few seconds, which will be instantly due to the magic of editing. We need 8 more. Let's immediately grant another one. And we're not too far away from that student capacity either, so we should hit that. Next up we have the library here, which I wouldn't mind pushing over this way. I want this central campus arena to have quite a lot of this red and white stone tile vibe around it. Okay, I think I'll actually bring this node up to the same height as the building here as well. Some possible further retaining wall action on its way. Bring this all the way around. And then again, those same little height corrections. If you're playing with that, move it for these little inconsistencies. You'll have a much more tedious time. But thankfully, we're not too bad here today. Bring all that concrete flush with the road too. Yeah, I don't hate that there at all. In further commentary toward kind of this general design aesthetic, there are a few unique buildings which we're not going to place today, but I'm thinking this area here might function as a bit of a kind of arts and culture district on the way up to a major hilltop park, which I'm planning here. In which case we can feature things like the academic library. I think will go quite nicely. There's the next statue as well. So I think I'll place 2 of these at the front of the building rather than the fountain repetition. You shouldn't be too badly together there. We'll bring in a pathway behind them. And then possibly a fountain to kind of sit in the middle. Somewhere like that. And could possibly bob those trees off. Let's get rid of all the orders. And we'll just manually place our own in. I won't replace using bob here. We'll just have California palms in. Not everywhere though, that's a different asset, isn't it? That bob is needed again. Goodbye orders. And then we'll just have 4 palms out in the corner, and that just opens up the viewpoint to the campus hub again, doesn't it? And with our bus heading back to downtown, which we'll see. Indeed, if there's anyone using the public transport, I'm pretty sure the entire city's population is on the Hello People pathway. Which will keep flowing as well. We'll keep those skywalks going around the city. Yeah, there's a few people arriving here. There's nothing outstanding though on that bus line, is it? Nothing backing up at least. And the ferries. But we actually asked someone to check back on the walking pier from the town of Francis. Which is still very busy. It's nowhere near as insane as the path in the city centre, of course. But it is still really busy out here. And views to the skyline, perhaps? Yes, please. Look at that. Really possibly my favourite downtown space we've ever created here. Having so much fun in Illium. Thank you for all the support on it as well. It's so nice to see so many members signing up for the early access and all the nice comments every week. Like you guys are just so nice. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed the series. Yeah, cool. So we're actually at campus attractiveness now with our next 2 assets. I'm not a massive lover of the outdoor study areas, as we know. Don't like it there. We did use it in the other one, but I think I'm going to avoid it here. We'll supplement with, I think, maybe some smaller buildings around here. The drama and art clubs, etc. Set these both to the same height as the local node. And then I'm even going to bring another pathway down here, which should help us hide a little bit of the terrain nastiness there. Don't use that side door because you will fall out of it. You'll just fall onto the ground. Happy with that? Let's bring some oaks in here as well, just to shelter the drama students from the noise of traffic pollution. I've dealt with drama students in my time, having spent most of my academia studying music. I know how sensitive they can be, so we'll protect them. No offense to the drama students watching, of course. And I think we'll go big palm lines straight through the campus middle as well. Starting to come together this kind of vibe here now, isn't it? Really enjoying it. Exactly what I wanted here. That's pretty much the sight line of today. Maybe today's thumbnail as well. But lots of this old stone red brick is perfect, isn't it? Absolutely perfect. And there's only one more building we need to fill out now, which is the School of Environmental Studies, which is available at another 4 academic works. Greedy. How many more do you want? Let me fund some academic staff. We'll just keep this running here, alright? And then campus attractiveness. I don't need the buildings to get there straight away, so I will just spam down 3 libraries, which very nearly takes us there. Very nearly. We're so close. Jog a gymnasium down. There we go, perfect. So I will hang around again for another 7 hours, waiting for the academic works to take over. And then we can place our final building before our major detail and time-lapse here today for our very cool, I love this sightline here, right? Another medium density crawl up into city centre here. So, we'll be right back. And fantastic news, everyone. We have reached the stage of level 4, giving us our next unique building. We also get some other nice ones here as well, which we'll get to. But first of all, the priority is the School of Environmental Studies, which presents an opportunity for the monorail. Everyone to pass through the building, doesn't it? Can I work this, I wonder? So first of all, position of the asset is most important. But I was planning to take the monorail up onto the park rather than have it go that way. It would be a bit weird, I think, if it went through and then turned left again. I think that would be a bit too unbelievable, almost. Let's set the building to the height of the node here. And thankfully this is a campus building, so our pathway will be sufficient for a connection. And then the monorail is just going to come off to the left, I think. As much as I would love to feed it through another building, I'm sure we'll get other chances to do so. And I won't just do it because an opportunity has presented itself, right? Don't worry about the collision yet. Once we come to work out these networks, we'll sort that out. I just want to leave it there, so I know what's happening. If you do want a perhaps brief taster of what is going to happen, I'm planning to do a bit of a throwback to Palaven, sinking the monorail down to ground level, at least, so there's no pillars, as it flows around the coupler all the way over here. It's essentially kind of encasing the park, and then once a road comes down from somewhere, we'll drop the layer and then it can return to normal, is what I'm planning, but it won't look like that. We'll just draw it out, so we have the connection. Splendid. Let's bring in some more path frames here alongside our larger buildings. We have the bookstore, which I think we can probably just afford to place here, and then move it back so the monorail passes in front of it. And kind of blend this into the monorail station as well. We'll have that right in the campus there. And then we'll also position our auditorium. Let's place it. I wonder if there's a possible fusing here, everyone. It does go through the key a little bit, but I can change that. There's actually a lot of nodes here with network multi-tool. Something we want to be wary of using that quite a lot, I think. But I can get it to fit. It rules out a path connection behind it, but I can live with that. If indeed we're happy with the connection. Yeah, that gives us a super impressive looking corner building, doesn't it? There you go, everyone. School of Environmental Studies and an auditorium is a great little position in there, isn't it? Loads of detailable space for us to get stuck into here as well. Very exciting. We'll have this come here and behind the bookstore, likely connecting in with another Hello People company bridge. Maybe that's what we can go with. The company that manages the skywalks can be known as the Hello People Bridge Company. Maybe we can go with that. And then, of course, we have to have people walking through the middle, don't we? Back up to other areas. Been lots of terrain jank to fight against here, so it should be quite the interesting detailing time-lapse, I think. Which we are ready for. Loads of space to get stuck into, props, car parking, and lots of surface work with probably some more public transit to factor in as well, especially with different lines beginning to converge and cross over here as well. But grab yourself some snacks and we'll be right back with some detailing. Alright guys, let's have a little detailed review, shall we, of brand new campus, which sits so nicely. That's another medium density approach into central Illium, of course. There's still some work to do around here yet. We'll tidy up the rest of this land as we come to develop this section. But in here we have a number of laboratories that have been placed around the campus, 2 of them to be precise, with retaining wall action and plenty of eatery space around the statue of Jerry Sr. In the foot grounds of the cafe, of course. Around here, some concrete surface work to extend textures, trees, using some hedge lining for a bit of a change as well. Which is always well appreciated, isn't it? I love the combination of these two assets. I've been waiting to use them together for so long, but just couldn't really get them into a city because they take up a big amount of space. Like, this is a big arena here. Yeah, so a lot of fun. Usual kind of food stands, beer tents, etc. before you walk into the arena, which has such a cool view to the skyline, doesn't it? That's some really nice nighttime views from around here, I'll tell you, which we will just dabble in a little bit. Just a tiny bit of nighttime. That's very bright, I'm sorry. That was a very bright transition. But I love an arena at the foot of a skyline. One of my simple city skylines pleasures, I think. And of course, still plenty more to come to the east as well, as the downtown continues to grow, of course. Beyond that, looping around the right edge of the stadium, we have a gymnasium with a pathway, which is getting a little bit of use here. Just organic, natural, walkable space you would expect people to move through. Gymnasium, perfect accompanying asset to a pitch, of course, and the stadium. Ended up fusing a multi-story car park into this asset as well, so really happy with the fusions here. And then some trees to hide terrain junk. And then the pathway, of course, through the middle, which is so cool. Love anarchy. Like, it totally changes what you can use these assets for, doesn't it? Fusing and bringing paths under these sky bridges. A little bit of detailing out front, with a really nice sightline here and another super impressive downtown corner. That's developed in the road frame. Especially with all these layers back up to the stadium, of course, which is elevated up from here. Landscaping, more benches by the bookstore. And the monorail station, which is getting hopefully a tiny bit of use. We will await a monorail, 143 in a week. I have slightly elevated this so we could clear it above the Hello People pathway, which is the name I'm running with now, by the way. Why didn't you guys get on? Oh, there you go. Yeah, because there's two lines here, of course. Fantastic. I need to change the colour of those monorails, make them much easier to identify. This pathway seeing nowhere near as much traffic as its sister pathway is. Having said that, it is still fairly busy down here. But a lot of people coming from the transit hub on this pathway, it seems. Yeah, super busy over here now, isn't it? There's a lot of that being fueled by the path into the trade centre from a few episodes ago. Where it's all kicking off here, isn't it? Our downtown Illium is massive now, isn't it? Like, we're just exploring all these streets. It's massive. Really quite a big downtown space, isn't it? So absolutely magnificent. Still love the fact that these pathways are getting loads of use. Statue detailing around more entrances onto those paths. Before there's some retaining wall action here by the dorms. And then lots of landscaping as our night time actually continues here. We turn that off. Yes, landscaping around the foot of the School of Education, including some little surface painted details, little study areas in the green space around the edge of the building. And then extended tile work to blend the whole front of the School of Education in with the fountains. Which then brings us back to the front of the campus where we'll see the laboratory. Which is a really nice corner asset here, isn't it? Especially on the corner of this pedestrian road here. Big fan of that. And it kind of fits the curve perfectly and bringing us back up to the stadium and the library where we meet those food tents again. And before we complete the city's second campus, and I'm very happy indeed that we managed to get a campus in as part of the wider downtown project. We've been waiting to do it for ages. We've had campus buildings in downtowns before, but never a full sprawling campus like this with its own arena and district. Build have been wanting to do for quite a long time. Either way, if you have enjoyed it, likes and comments do wonders for these videos down below, and a huge shout out to the patrons and YouTube members that are bankrolling these videos, with a roll call to our golden patron X, Casino, Spartan Angel, Michael W, Phoenix ND, Blythe, Jamin, and Greatsy. If you're interested in getting involved in that or indeed using any of the DLCs that we've made use of in today's episode, links down to Patreon and Instant Gaming are the best ways you can help with that. Either way, please do enjoy some wonderful cinematics of the ever-growing downtown Illium, and I'll shut up and leave it there. Well, thank you all again so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.